Hello, everybody. This is Shrawan Sumane from Visioncast, officially doing my first podcast, and I'm extremely excited. More excited about the guest who's joining me for the first ever podcast of mine. Uh, a visionary entrepreneur, a master trainer, a mentor to many, franchisee owner for Action Coach, founder for Pick a Book, founder for the 5M Club, and many more things. But most importantly, somebody who's known to have had the vision to bring BNI to Vishakhapatnam. Please welcome KVT Ramesh. KVT, welcome to the first podcast of Visioncast. It's a pleasure having you here on the show.
Thank you so much, and I'm excited.
I hope people enjoy watching the podcast at the end of it.
Yes,
So, KVT, the first thing that comes to mind is the first thing that you ever did. Was it a job or was it a business straight away? What was it?
it was business straight away from my college. So I still remember I had 23rd May 1998 is when I had my last practical exam of my science, which is physics, and then 24th I was into business.
Wow.
I had my you have this thing right in Telugu in our communities we have this break the coconut and then start your job. So I did that on 24th, which means very next day of my college, I should say.
Okay. And once you got into an enterprise, how long before you actually joined BNI? What was the attraction towards BNI?
So 98 is when I started, and my BNI journey started in 2012. So by then I was already good 14, 15 years into business.
Okay, okay. And once you become a member, what prompted you to take that leap of faith of trying to become a franchisee owner for BNI?
So this has a little longer answer. See, when I joined BNI, the first time when I've been to a BNI chapter meeting, I've seen the way the meeting was conducted was so professional. By then, I didn't see any single platform which has so professional look to it, outlook to it. And then second thing was when they talked about the difference between lead and a referral, I was super excited because I was spending around 70 on Just Dial by then. So for my company leads. And I know how leads work because Just Dial, when they send a lead, they send it to you and also to another 7, 8 people. When you call the client says, yeah, I've already got 7 clients. So whoever gives me the best price, I'll give it to you. So you've lost the game there. It is only a price game. So I thought the moment I heard referral and you are going to be exclusive, this is the best thing. I think, even if I get lesser, I'm sure that I'll get the best. And I can do best service also because when you have that price freedom, you can do best service. That excited me. And that
Okay.
proved to be wrong, right after almost like good 6, 7 months of my journey in BNI because I started getting quality referrals. Whenever I get a referral, I really didn't have to give any quotation there. They already have trust, so they would only say that, okay, I have this work, KVT, please get this done. It's not about how much does it cost and then comparing with the market and all. That's straight away a business opportunity without even comparing. So you have an opportunity of giving the best service because you have the freedom of pricing. So that's my
Okay.
experience.
And once you decided that you wanted to become a franchise owner for BNI, how did Vizag come into the picture? Was it, I mean, did you have an emotional connect with the place or was it just pure business sense? What was it?
Let me be very, very frank here because, I wanted to start in Telugu speaking state for sure. So I didn't want to go out of Telugu speaking state because that's one of my strengths. I've seen how business owners are comfortable speaking their mother tongue in Hyderabad. So I was looking at other places where Telugu speaking is the majority or maybe, the main language. So I had two options at that point of time. One is Vijayawada and then Vishakhapatnam. They're the little larger cities after Hyderabad. So when I've come here, so you can call it as a recce. I've come here to Vishakhapatnam. I've come to Vijayawada. But then the moment I landed in Vishakhapatnam, I've seen the kind of scenic beauty of Vishakhapatnam. I fell in love. That's it. So that's one of the reasons. And when I spoke to few people, the warmth from people, it attracted me. So that was missing. Frankly, I love Hyderabad city because it gave me everything. But then that was missing. The warmth was missing in Hyderabad. Here, I really love that. So
So
that's the reason.
it's 2012, 2014, right?
2013.
2013. So a good 11 years have passed. Do
Yes.
you still feel the people of Vizag have retained that warmth?
They are 100%. They are. I don't know how happy they are with the people of Vizag alone, but they're more warmer towards the people who come from outside. They're very welcoming when it comes to people from outside.
Any new business, when you start fresh, has got its own challenges. Moving to Vizag, a new city, unknown people. What were the initial challenges that you faced?
The first challenge was, I've already told you that I was almost like 14, 15 years into business all, which means the business that I was doing is already well set, where the systems are there, people are there. Mine was more like, going to best of my clients and spending some time with them and coming back and reviewing a lot of stuff. It's not like a startup kind of stuff where you have to go, you have to market, you have to do sales and all that. But suddenly, when I moved to Vizag, the first thing was I become a salesman because I have to go talk to the clients, talk to the prospects about what is the opportunity, how BNA works, because none of them knew. So today, you can say that we have 67,000 members and all that in India. At that point of time, I think it's less than 3,000 members, less than 3,000
All
members
over India.
across India. And ours was the 13th city. We have almost 131 cities today. So it was almost like nobody knows what is BNA unless somebody calls the others and then says that, okay, boss, this is it, you go join. So I had to literally go to almost every single prospect that I have in my list, tell them what this opportunity is all about, why they have to pay that 20 odd thousand and come and sit with others and network and expect business from them. It was not easy for people to understand. So becoming a salesperson again after 15 years into business was tough because I was already doing well. That was a mindset. I'm talking about more towards my mind. Maybe shaping my mind, saying that, oh boss, get convinced now. This is a new business. You are again like a startup. You're starting from the scratch, so you have to work on. That was my biggest challenge. Second thing was people have their questions because it is not a product, right? I don't have anything to show them, boss,
Right.
please, this is the worth of this, please pay so much money. People don't have anything to see. They have to just trust me, saying that whatever I'm saying will actually happen in the next 1 year of their journey in BNI. So that was again tough. Fortunately, like how I said, Vishakhapatnam people trusted me. That's my, I think, God's grace. And
So you came across people who said, no, no, this something else, there's some other kind of marketing and all. I know all about marketing. Please don't tell me. I'm not interested. You came across those reactions?
that takes me to the second day of my Vishakhapatnam. So, okay, first day I met people in uh, Fortune Sri Kanya Hotel, the owner of Fortune Sri. That was the first person I met because one of my friends in Hyderabad referred to him. And he was very warm and, he's so nice. He's a big man, but, he's so warm. He said that, బాబు చెయ్యమ్మా ఇక్కడ బాగుంటుంది ఇలాంటి దిస్ అంటే న్యూ ఐడియాస్ కావాలి సో యూ గైస్ హ్యావ్ టు కమ్ హియర్ డూ సచ్ థింగ్స్ అండ్ ఆల్ ఇట్ వాస్ సో ఎంకరేజింగ్ అండ్ దెన్ హీ సెడ్ దట్ హీల్ జాయిన్ బట్ దెన్ it took some time for him to send his son because he thought for his age maybe this doesn't suit and all that. But then yeah, he was very warm. I was so happy to talk to a person like him first. But the second day I've been to another person. Of course, he's been my member now for good 11 years and 12th year into this. His name is Kiran Kumar Raju. That time he was handling MVP Rise. He's into tiles sanitary business and now he has multiple business and he's a big man now. But when I've been there and so he was so busy handling his business. Even before I went there, he was already convinced to join because the person who referred said so much about it. And coincidentally, the same person who brought me also to BNI, Vishnu from Hyderabad, he told him, "This is going to work. Please join." But then he couldn't give me enough time to talk to him, and then he made me sit in his room. Then he was actually handling the clients and all that. I was waiting. I was thinking what's happening, or maybe it'll take more time and all. But you know what he's done? He's actually called a couple of his friends also there. He was asking me to wait for that, not for him. He was ready to give the check. He called another architect. I don't want to name anybody here, an architect, and later he joined BNI and all that. He's a good friend of mine now. But then he said it's not going to work in Vishakhapatnam. So this is So all this is for metro cities, not for Vishakhapatnam. Sir, ఇవన్నీ పనవు సార్ అంతే ఇలాగే ఉంటాయి. So he said that and he left. Even though he said that he's an architect, for a business of that kind, building material company. So an architect's word is like, they treat it as very, very serious. The moment he left, he gave the check. Kiran gave the check, and then that was my second check, though. So
So when you started BNI in Vizag, and given the fact that there are only 3,000 members all over India, so I'm assuming you must have been among the 15, 20 EDs all over India at that
that's it.
point of time.
That's it. That's less than 20 for sure.
Okay. So, what's the most valuable networking strategy that BNI has taught you?
So one, I think see, unfortunately, people don't have complete clarity on what is networking. They have a lot of confusion. People say that okay, networking, they have this confusion between okay, is it chain marketing or is it this, is it that? There's a lot of confusion. But actual networking, if it goes with a structure, then you will see success in anything that you have. For example, if you are networking for business development, then you need to find out a business network which has structure to it. BNI taught me that. It's not just about business networking. BNI taught me you need to have clear goals, clear objectives, and clear structure when you're going for a network. So this I've applied even in other networks also. When I've joined social networks, when I've joined even my community networks, everywhere I've started practicing this, I've seen success.
So,
The structured network.
What if you say that you meet a new person, you just exchange a business card? That's not enough.
That's not networking. Then.
That's not networking,
That's
right?
not networking.
So you have to spend at least 5-10 minutes of time.
So-
If the place or the system there is short on time for you to interact,
Correct.
you need to at least make a mark, discuss a little bit more, speak a little bit more about his vocation or your work. Do you feel that got a better success rate?
Exactly. See, what I've learned from BNI is networking is all about when you're meeting a person in a group of people, it is just starting point of your relationship with him. Try to build relationship, get some triggers where he and you find some commonalities, and from there you take that relationship longer. Networking is just a starting point. Don't think that it is a transaction. The transactions may not happen there. In fact, it should not happen there. It is just a starting point for a relationship. That's
So
the networking.
I think a lot of times, exactly what you're saying, a member sometimes feels that I've networked with so many people. Why is it not converting into business? So I think that
this
mindset has to change.
Exactly. This is the challenge. So this is not a transaction. Networking is not a transaction. You're going there to build trust and build a relationship with someone, and that should be there in your mind. So you need to ask about what do they do. You should be as interested as much as interested about their business also as much you are interested about your business. It has to be shown that you are concerned or maybe you are rather interested about their business, or if it is social networking, their objectives of coming there to the networking. So that's something which is we need to understand.
Right. So you got to be a bit patient at
Yes.
the end of the day. You
Yes.
have to be a bit patient.
Yes.
So your most interesting feedback from a visitor who has come and attended a BNI meeting.
Okay. Any day, I think in the last 12 years' time, I would have heard from hundreds of visitors this feedback, which is, let me know, how can I join? That's the best feedback you can get, which means, if you can excite somebody to write a check for 40,000 or 50,000 and then join this network, what else can be the best feedback? So I think for me, that's the best feedback.
So then the next part, apart from this, what is your most favorite part of being the ED?
The connections that I built, the credibility that I built, it is very easy. And of course, it is that easy to lose credibility also. But the opportunities are more when it comes to executive director role. So if you are an executive director, somehow when somebody is coming to you itself, they think that you're already somebody, a good person, or maybe already credible person in the region in this particular place. So building relationships can be easier as an executive director, but at the same time risky also, because you have high chances of losing credibility also by doing one mistake.
The hierarchy of BNI is like a foot soldier. You've got a member,
Correct.
then you've got the ST, then you've got a DC who handles the chapter, then maybe a senior director consultant, then the area director, and the ED.
Correct.
So what I have felt or realized is that everybody at every level actually gets enough opportunities to build on.
Absolutely.
So when you speak about collaboration so much, I
Absolutely.
think that's one of the most beautiful parts of BNI is instead of it's taught a lot of members that instead of competing, we can actually collaborate and grow bigger together. So I think that
That's
is
the great part about BNI, because it teaches you how to collaborate. It teaches you how to build relationships. It teaches you about how to build business without even talking about business, because you have a lot to learn from people around you. As you said, it's not a hierarchy. I would treat it as the reverse. Like, member is on top, and all of us are actually work for member only. So in whatever the level that we look at it is, all of us work for member only. Members benefit. So that way, I think BNI is a place where people get so many opportunities to build the entire business, not just about marketing, rest of the parts of their business. So that can be built easily.
so. KVT, the one thing that you'd like to add to the entire BNI Vizag experience?
For member,
Yes.
so, see, when a member comes, they'll come with one expectation called business. They want to grow their business by whatever multifold or okay, whatever the number of times that they are currently in. But what they learn in their journey of BNI is like it's not just about business. They'll get a lot of support system. So when it comes to BNI membership, it's not just business, but then they'll get a community where they can confidently talk about anything what's happening in their life, because it's not easy, because you are in a world that you are judged for every small thing. But here at least there's a community, your chapter, which always says that come on buddy, so we're there with you. So that community, that's what I call it as support system. So it's not easy outside. That's something that they get, and lot of learnings which otherwise is not easy at all for member. That learning is a continuous process for them. Forever they learn. So I always tell my members, okay boss, I don't know if you ever know that there's something called AI if not for BNI, because in BNI we talk business language. So we keep updating one another about what are the new updates coming up and how the market is responding and all that. So members learn a lot. It's not just about new learnings. I talk about even the way you handle certain aspects of your business. Maybe when I sit with Shravan, I learn something. When I sit with another member, I learn something else, the aspects that of business, different aspects of business. That's something BNA is all about. But what I want is all the members, it's not just one or two, all the members should experience all these things, not just one area of it. So they should get that. That's my goal. And of course, I have my strategies for it. And
So
I'm
I
trying
think
to.
changing the way the world does business. I think that can be that can also be spoken in terms of changing lives and helping people do much more business. Because I think it's not just a business platform; it actually changes lives and the communities that is speaking about. To be honest, it benefits a lot of members, and we've seen examples around us where it's transformed the life of the person.
Exactly. Your answer is better answer than mine. I go by that.
So, KVT, what's your favorite quote? A
For
quote that
life,
you live by? Yeah.
I live by a quote by my guru Mahatriya. Long time back, he said, "It's not about how much you have; it's all about what you do with what you have." I live by that. So
So I mean, for everybody out there who's going to listen to this podcast, uh, some people might be more talented, but it depends on how you use the talent that you have,
exactly,
right, to achieve what you would want to achieve, or to be
exactly.
the best version of yourself.
Exactly. So whatever I've done in my life, whether it is the kind of roles I played in BNI or maybe things that I've done in other businesses of mine also, I'm sure I'm not the best. There are a lot of people who are more intelligent and smarter than me, but I think I use 100% of my talent I have. For example, you all know that I've never studied English medium at all. So all through my life, I was in Telugu medium. When I speak English, people say that, sir, your English is so nice. You speak simple English that we all understand. I tell them I know only so much. I have no confusion. I know only so much, but I use 100% of that. So that's why.
I think using the best that we have makes a lot of difference.
That's it.
So you're an avid reader. You read a
Yes.
lot. You're the founder of Pick a Book. So three books in easy language that you'd encourage entrepreneurs to read.
Okay. See, I so I can only talk about what I like. But then, yeah, it helps all the entrepreneurs, especially. One, there is something called Start with Why. So start with why talks about why you doing what are you doing. So if you have clarity on that, you'll actually go a long way. So for that, you need to know why are you doing. So that book really talks great about how you have to start and what is that should go in your mind when you're starting something. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. That's one book. And second book is, there is no business without managing people. Okay, you need to learn the art of managing people. That there's a book on leadership, which is Five Levels of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. So that's another beautiful book. Sometimes we feel like we are managing people. Yeah, we do manage, but actually we have to lead people. That can happen only when we learn the techniques of leading people and the right way of leading people. That you can learn from this particular book called The Five Levels of Leadership. And finally, the third book that I personally like is because whether you are a businessman or you are working in some company or doesn't matter. So as a human being, you need to learn certain disciplines. So that's something that which builds you as a person, builds your business, also helps you build your business. All that will happen. So for that, you need to learn the art of building certain habits because the habits will build the discipline in you. So there's a book called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. So this is a beautiful book because it talks about the science behind why and how we form a habit. And it also talks about how you can break a habit and get into a new habit which is constructive for you. So
So ideally, a destructive habit
yeah.
would take about what 15 years of discipline to try and kick the habit, or
Any habit takes the same amount of time. Unfortunately, we don't realize that. That's it. Which means even the destructive habit, we have done it enough number of days without even realizing that we are doing so much. So that's why I'm talking about this particular book because Charles Duhigg talks very good about a research. He's done a research on how the habits are formed, whether it is good or bad. So it helps us to understand how we can break a habit and get into a good
so
new habit.
you say you're not from an English medium background. When did this interest in books start? How did it start?
Yeah, fortunately, though I was not from English medium, but I always loved to speak English. Even when I was in college, also I always used to loving speaking in English. But then there are a lot of friends. I studied in a small town called Palakolu, Penugonda. So these small towns, if you speak in English, your friends around you will actually pull your leg by saying, "Entra English." Ah?" So that discourages us to get into English. But then, yeah, I was so focused on it, and I really love the way people speak English and all. So I started learning. I brought up at that point of time there is postal through postal there are certain courses used to come and I used to buy those courses, read them and then speak to my friend's father. He was a state bank manager, and I used to speak to him and I used to ask him to correct me if I'm speaking right or not. So the basic foundation was done in during my graduation time. But then fortunately, when I moved to Hyderabad, then I started my business. Because of that foundation, I was able to speak English, if not good English. But then most of my clients in my Hyderabad business were corporates like Deloitte, Dell, HSBC. All these are my clients. So when I go speak to them, obviously you learn that okay, their style, the language they speak, okay, their accent, everything you learn. And there are a lot of clients who are my best buddies, good friends of mine, HRs and admin stuff and all. They always used to teach me about not just about how to speak. They also used to teach me how to write an email. I've learned from my clients free. They paid me and taught me all that.
So, what about your reading habits? How did you?
So yeah, so when it comes to reading habit, it's not from my childhood, but then when I've started my business in Hyderabad, my brother-in-law reads a lot of books. He used to read Telugu books. Uh, and then there's one day he said that I was actually traveling in train to a longer distance. It was about 18-hour journey. Then I thought, okay, so that time mobiles were not yet famous. You didn't have all that. So I asked my brother-in-law, can I take this book and then start reading? So that book was విజయానికి ఐదు మెట్లు. That's by Endamuri Verendranath. That's a Telugu book. I started reading and never stopped. So by the time I came back, I finished that, and I was so motivated. Like, I've started implementing certain, habits that he talked about in that book, and then I really liked that book so much, and that's the starting point. And from
So
then on,
you were never in that category where you try reading a book but fall asleep after a couple of pages. You're never in that
no,
category.
not exactly. So because I liked it, and from then on, I've started selecting the books that I like. So I keep suggesting people also. One of the reasons why you fall asleep is because maybe the content of the book is not exciting you. I think
So you're not in the category of some of us who start falling asleep after reading a couple of pages, especially if it's a non-fiction book.
no, not exactly, because what I personally believe is if you like the book, the contents of the book, you don't fall asleep. So I suggest people also when you're falling asleep, which means that is little tough for you to read, or maybe you're very new to reading. So if you are very new to reading, even if you are falling asleep, make sure at least you read 4 or 5 pages a day so that you get into the habit. That's one thing that I talk.
You're a master trainer. So this brings another question to mind. Normally, in any training session, you have coffee breaks. You'll make them do some icebreakers. You'll make them get up and move around. Normally, I'm sure you must be knowing the stats about it, but normally, how long do you think a person can concentrate during a training session? Maximum.
So as a standard, if you look at it, we take 90 minutes as the time that somebody can focus on a session. And after every 90 minutes, they either need, like you said, an icebreaker kind of thing, or maybe a break. So one of that. So 90 minutes is a standard that we.
And if anybody cannot consider till 90 minutes, that means he's not interested in the session,
Yeah,
maybe.
one not interested, and second maybe the trainer is also not effective. Either of it, it's like that. There are trainers who are not effective. When they're not effective, obviously people will fall asleep, or maybe they want to move out, and their mind will not be there. They're not with the trainer.
We earlier spoke about man management, leading the team. So in BNI, you have people who are in different positions because you need people to work and make the system work and survive and thrive.
Correct.
So any challenges you face, especially when the senior members, and they're not following the route map that is laid out by you for the region, you face those challenges?
We do see, because not everybody is a leader. Not everybody would like to follow what they learn. So sometimes my job is to make sure that I create leaders. So very very simple. I tell my leaders also, boss, I don't want you as a person, or I don't want you to coordinate something. I want your leadership. So if I'm not able to get their leadership, or if I'm not able to do certain activities with them, or give them enough information or knowledge that they'll become a better leader than the day they've entered this particular role, it's a failure for me. So I take it seriously. Still, there are few people who come with a different objective and they fail to do it. And even that, I feel like it's a failure of mine, because I couldn't spot that objective properly. So that's what I look at. Yeah, I face that. There are few of them who will fail to play the
And
role.
normally, somebody who's in a senior position, do you think he takes criticism better, or do you think if corrected, he is more than willing to comply and learn and get better?
So ideally, they have to come play and ready to learn better and become a better leader. So that's the ideal case scenario. Whoever you've seen as a great leader, they've all done that. For sure, they've all done that. Those of them who are just mediocre leaders, they feel like, why should I take? I've already learned. I know everything, kind of stuff. But that's definitely almost like full stop for leadership growth. So they'll
Okay.
be there only.
So, since you're speaking about leadership and growth, what is the strategic plan for BNI Vizag for this year?
This year, we've started something called World Number One. So, as a region, we want to become world number one among close to 1400 odd regions across the world. So, yeah, there are a lot of parameters on it. It's not an easy task, and I don't want to take an easy task also. So, I'm right now, I think that I'm able to get entire leadership aligned with this particular vision. So, they're ready, and that's my goal now. So, I'm not talking about any particular number. There are numbers, but all the parameters put together, if we can actually become world number one, then one of the best things happen to the region is every member gets better value than what they are drawing right now. So that's my goal right now.
So ultimately, that increases the value of the seat we're sitting in.
Absolutely.
And your long-term vision for BNI Vizag?
See, I personally believe I'm not here to make more members join BNIs, but I'm here to create a kind of community in Vishakhapatnam for business owners where they impact more number of lives. For example, I remember, I have members who have joined as single man army. Like they've joined as one man army, and they're everything for their business. They're the marketers, they're the finances, they're everything. But now, if you see in the 10 years journey, there are a few members, I can name them also. In 10 years journey, they're handling a team of good 20-25 people, which means they've employed so many people, they're giving livelihood to so many people. Those people who have got employed and then their lives are impacted by this business owner. And BNA helped him to grow like that. So, in a way, if you look at it, so maybe if I can actually impact at least about 20,000 lives in Vishakhapatnam through whatever happens for them and their business in BNA, my target is achieved. That's my goal.
That's very nice to know. So, KVT, every role in a chapter is important. We all know that.
Absolutely.
But as per you, what is that one role which you feel is extremely crucial for the chapter?
All the roles, I can't name it, but if you ask me personally what I like the most, that I can tell you, is visitor host. Because end of the day, it's about the experience you give to a person who's coming for the first time to a chapter meeting. What kind of experience do you give to them that they feel, wow, I've come to a place and this is the place. The reason why I'm saying is not that we have to convert every visitor as a member, but then if they get inspired, or if they get super excited about the meeting, they end up giving a lot of business opportunities to the members, and that is in the hands of visitor host. And also they get more connections personally, because they get to meet all the members, they get to meet all the visitors who are walking in, and they get to spend some time with them because of whatever the responsibilities they're handling with that particular role. I think I go by visitor host and visitor host team, but not that that's the only important role.
So, KVT, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to ask you three questions. I want you to rate them.
Yeah.
BNI Vizag as a franchise owner, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it?
Oh, maybe around 6. I have a lot to achieve.
Lot to achieve. Okay. And BNI franchisee as a business model, how do you rate that on 1 to 10 in general?
9.
Member experience based on the feedback you've got from members, how does BNI Vizag rate in 1 to 10?
Again, 9 for sure.
Okay. So, on the lighter side, how do you unwind after a hectic day? Don't tell me you read a book and relax.
I'm a boring guy, no doubt at all, because I don't party, I don't go anywhere. So I have family. So my time with my family, the time that I spend with Madhura, is one of the ways that I unwind. And I love playing cricket. So even now, with whatever the busy schedules I have, I find a way that if I'm part of almost all the tournaments, whether I'll play or not doesn't matter, but I'm part of almost all the tournaments that BNI or BNI guys organize. I go if I get time, I go, I play. So that's one of the best things.
Speaking about cricket, there's a lot of news going around BNI Vizag that KVT always buys a club because he gets a chance to play.
Yeah, I'm touching about 50 in about 1.5 years time. People don't buy me anymore. I have to buy a club and then play for that.
No, but you're extremely fit for your age, which is very good to see. So, if you're granted a wish that you'd master any one talent overnight, what would you choose? If Genie granted you a wish you could master one talent overnight, what would you choose?
Overnight, what could that be? So I see a lot of people. Uh, see, it's very painful for them to go through relationship related issues, because money related issue, all the other issues can be handled, But when it comes to relationship related issues, it's so painful for people. So if I get one talent, I would say that, in a click of a button, or maybe in just one jiffy, I want to remove that pain, especially when it comes to relationship issues and challenges they face. And that's one skill I really want to learn, because I don't know, maybe I feel I'm good at it, and I feel I love that particular space.
Okay. So finally, one last thing. How would you like to be remembered as an entrepreneur who's had the vision of bringing BNI to Vizag, a master trainer, or being a mentor? What is closest to you?
All the three are interlinked, but frankly, if you ask me, I would be remembered, I feel, I must be remembered as a person who's come to this world and impacted a lot of lives and then gone. That's one thing that I want to be remembered as. It's through all these things, through mentoring, or maybe helping people grow, helping people find out their actual potential and all these things.
KVT, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
You
you.
are an amazingly positive influence for people who are around you. And yeah, it's a pleasure having you as my first guest for my podcast.
Thank you so much.
Till next time, see you around.
Thank you.